All right, welcome everyone. Uh, Pretty big class here today, so welcome. Happy Thursday. My name is Kate with Scott Leroy Marketing. Today we are going to be taking a look at our SLM provided templates that can be used directly with Canva. We're also going to do an overview of Canva, how to kind of get started with Canva, creating an account, as well as kind of making your own design in there. If time allows, we'll also take a look at how to take some of those designs and put them into command to use for social posts or email campaigns, okay? If there is anything you'd like to see that we don't cover, definitely drop it in the chat. This is a newer class, and as KW integrates Canva into command, this class can kind of evolve and change with that. So if there's something you'd like to see going forward with this class, I would love to hear it because we would love to improve on this for you guys. So definitely drop those in the chat. All right, first thing is first though, we are going to quickly take a look at how to create a Canva account if you do not have one yet, okay? So first things first is we are going to go to Canva, so canva.com. I will drop this in the chat for you guys. Now I'm not going to fully set up an account, but I'm going to go through what that will kind of look like if you are. Once you are on Canva here, you can just go to sign up, okay? It's going to ask you how you'd like to sign up, okay? There are a ton of options. You can sign in with Apple, Google, Facebook, etc. Okay. We always recommend signing up with your email. Okay. That way, if you need help with something, someone else may be able to log in and take a look at it. It also allows you to set its own password, keep it separate from everything else. If you request that our team set up Canva for you, this is how we will go through that process. Okay. So we will use continue with an email. It will then allow you to enter whatever email you'd like to use. Generally, again, if our team is setting that up for you, we will use your KW email just to make sure it is separate and is used for, real estate. Once you enter your email, it's going to send over a code to whatever email you have set that up for, okay? You'll enter that code and it will directly set you into the account, okay? If you would like to actually set a password for it and not log in with a code every time, you can do that once the account is fully set up, okay? So first thing would be to enter your email, grab that code, log in. It should ask for your first and last name as well, and then it will pretty much log you into the account. Once you are logged into the account, you can go into your settings by clicking on your photo in your bottom left corner. You can go into those settings and then you can click on log in. Once you are under login, this is going to allow you to reset your password. In other words, it's going to let you create that password, okay? If you're not getting a code, I may suggest trying a different email. If you'd like us to set up the account for you too, I can show you where you can request that on our site, and I'll drop the link in the chat. But once you're resetting your password or creating your first-time password, you'll click this. It will have you enter your email again. It will then send over another code, and it will have you enter the password you'd like to set, okay? Once that's set up, you'll then log in with those logins, okay? If you want us to set up a Canva account for you, we are happy to do that. We do that all the time if you're a new agent. If you're not a new agent, that is fine too. We are happy to jump in and set up a Canva account for you. We will need access to your email, so we will need both the email and the password to set that up. But you can find a form on our website that is Canva account setup. It is under agent resources and agent support, okay? I will go ahead and link this in the chat just in case anyone needs that and would like that. This will also allow you to request TidyCal and Zoom if you don't have those set up. So a great way to get any of those third-party platforms created if you don't already have them, okay? You can choose all three. You can just choose Canva, okay, if you just want the one. Sometimes the password will not come over in the form. So if we have to ask again for that, just keep in mind that sometimes it doesn't send it over kind of as a security. So if we ask for that after you've typed it, don't worry. We just need to make sure we have it. All right, moving back to Canva, okay? Once you are logged in, the first thing we want to do actually is going to jump over to our Scott Leroy website again. Okay, so if you're not familiar with our Scott Leroy website, I'll also drop this link in the chat for you guys. You do need a password to log into our Scott Leroy website. As you can see, I am logged in. It will show log out or log in, depending on if you are signed in or not. If you're not logged in, go ahead and click log in, and you're going to enter your Market Center number, okay? Just the number for the Market Center you are associated with. If you're not sure what your Market Center is, you can email us. We're happy to take a look and see if we can find that. You can also reach out to your Market Center staff. They're happy to provide that. Our email, if you need it, is support@scottleroymarketing.com. I'll also go ahead and drop that in the chat. If I could type today. There it is. So if you don't know that password, you can always reach out to us. TidyCal is an appointment scheduler that can be linked directly with your Google Calendar and allows consumers to schedule appointments with you. Alrighty, so from our website, most of your agent support resource items are going to be found under this agent resources dropdown, okay? If you come all the way down to marketing support, you'll see that the very last option on here is going to be templates, okay? This is where we're going to go into. Once we're in templates, you're going to see that there are some different options here. Now, these are free Canva templates. You can use them with a free Canva account, and this will allow you to grab these designs and start editing them, okay? Now, there are leadership templates. That's not to say you can't grab a birthday one and use it for a client. That's totally fine. You can use any of the agent templates or leadership templates. They're yours once you add them to your Canva, so you can completely recustomize them for what you might be wanting to use. Okay, so just keep that in mind. But over here on the right, you'll see the agent templates. There is listing, social posts, listing flyers, postcards, and then you can also find email signatures. Okay, now these are for listings. That's not to say you can't, again, recustomize them for whatever you're trying to create. But we're going to go ahead and start with an email signature template, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and click on this one. And as you can see, it's going to let me know that a template created by Scott Leroy Marketing was shared with you, okay? So as soon as you click it, it should share it with you. From here, we're going to go ahead and hit View Template, and we're going to open it in the editor, okay? Once we open that, you're going to see that we have quite a few different designs. So there are 21 different pages that we can look through. Here are all those designs just from us and that page we were just on. So I'm going to go back. If you shuffle through this as well, you can also see all of those. That way you're not clicking on it and using it if you don't actually want to use one. But once we view it, it's going to open an editor and we can start customizing it, okay? So let's say we want to use this top one and we want to go ahead and start customizing this, okay? We can start clicking on the different pieces and aspects of the design and customizing them, okay? Let's say we want this to be white instead of gray. We can click on that item and then click on our color and change it. It doesn't have to be the color that we set it as just because we set it that way. If you want to make this red, go ahead. If you want to change the font, all of this can be customized by you, again, with your preferences. Definitely when you are using one of these designs, make sure you check with your Market Center staff on any compliance that may be required, okay? We create these designs and they're accessible to every KW office that we work with. So these designs are not going to have compliance for every office. We just don't have the ability to do that. So make sure you touch base with your office, know what your compliance rules are and what is required to be on your different marketing items, okay? But once that's done, we can start adding our photos and stuff, okay? So if we want to change the photo that's here, we can go ahead and click upload. We can grab one from our computer by uploading right here. If you've already uploaded it, it will appear within your images and you can just drag and drop if you are already clicked on that item. So if we were not clicked on Scott, and we wanted to drag this, it will still work, okay? You drag it over to whatever item you want to replace. If you do this, it's going to replace your background. So make sure wherever it's showing is where it's going to drop. If you're not on any of those, it'll just add a new photo, okay? You can still move it though. So there we go. Double click, you can start customizing your text, changing out the information that's on here. I don't really need to edit too much of this since it is already Scott's information, but make sure you replace your phone number, email, website, etc. Okay. Once you're done and you like the design and you want to start using this for your email, you're going to just hit that share button and you're going to hit download. Now, because this has 21 pages, make sure you select either the page number you're on or current page. And then you can, of course, change the file type if you need to, okay? We're just going to go ahead and leave this as a PNG, and we're going to download it just like that. And then we'll have this design on our computer so we can start plugging it in. And I'm sorry, it opened on a different screen. And now we can start using this in our email, okay? If anybody does need help on how to add this to your actual KW email, we do have a video and I can drop that at the end of class, okay? All right. Now we've created this one. If we're done with this, we can go ahead and just hit these 3 little lines and go back to Canva. And we were actually on the Scott Leroy site here. So I'm going to go back to those templates and we're going to take a look at one more template really quick. So we're going to go back to marketing support and back to templates. And now we can take a look at one of these others. Okay, so let's go ahead and do listing flyer. And as you can see, there are different kinds. So when we click on those different types of listing marketing, it's going to give us the option for coming soon, just listed, open house, you have under contract, and just sold. Okay, so we can click on any of those. Let's go ahead and click the open house one. Again, we're going to have a bunch of different designs. So we just click on this and find the one that we like once we're in there. So I'm going to go ahead and do view template again. Open in editor. And now we have those designs as well, okay? Now we can start customizing these, okay? If you have photos of the house, I'm gonna go to one with less photos. I don't wanna have to replace all of those right now. We'll just keep it simple. We'll go with this one right here, okay? So I'm gonna grab a photo. I believe I have one in here somewhere, maybe. We'll go with this one. Actually, that one doesn't lay very well. Let's try this one. Now, once we lay that photo there in that space, we can double click and adjust it, okay? So if we want to move it to where it's more centered, we can do that, okay? Again, you can change these colors. Maybe you have branded yourself and you have your own brand colors. You can grab those colors and start using them. Let's go ahead and go with blue today. There we go. Now this first one's the outline of the shape, so that's why you see it twice. This one just has one. So we're going to go ahead and click that one. It's going to change all of that for us, okay? And then we can start adjusting the time, the date, and anything else we need to update on here, okay? Same as before, when you are ready to download this and start using it, you're just going to hit that share button, okay? Download again. This one, since you're printing it since you're going to be printing it most likely, since it is a flyer, you're most likely going to want to change it to PDF standard or PDF print. This one should just give you like bleed lines and make sure it doesn't bleed into that. I don't usually have any problems with the standard either, so you can usually use either of those. We're going to go ahead and hit done and download. And then that design will be on our computer so we can take a look at it, okay? So then you can print that out in Office or send it off to be printed, whatever is easier for you, and get started. Yes, we will take a look at a newsletter. Can you use what you have used before? I'm not sure can you use one you've used before? So are you saying a design that you've previously created in Canva? If so, yes, you can just go to your Canva account. Your previous designs will stay right here and you can come back in and customize them and edit them for a new house. So if you want to use the same open house flyer every single time, you can do that, okay? You can either make a copy and edit the new one so that you don't edit the old one, or if it doesn't matter, you can edit the old one if you're not worried about keeping a second copy. The SLM logo can be replaced. That is basically a placeholder for you to add it or to add your KW logo. So let me show you quickly how to do that. Sorry, I missed that part. From here, if you want to replace that logo, you could just click on it. You can either go ahead and delete it and then pull in your KW logo, or you could replace it the same as you did the other photo. And I didn't mean to do that. So obviously I would probably use my Market Center specific logo, but I'm just going to use the KW generic for this example. But yes, you can replace your logo. If you have your own branded team logo or logo for yourself, you can add those. Let's see. There is no MLS integration currently with Canva. So KW has announced that a Canva integration is coming and there will be an MLS type of connection to pull in those. Currently, that is not available. They announced that that is expected in quarter 3. Most likely after Mega Agent Camp is when we're kind of expecting it, but it may not be quite then. And they are expecting to have an MLS integration at that point. Currently, you'll want to have your photos on your computer and upload them to Canva. There's not a way currently to pull them directly in, like in Command. Um, so you'll upload those. Yes, you'll upload any logos you want to include in any of your designs. You just upload them to your images here and they'll stay here unless you delete them. Photos will never go away from here. They'll be here as long as you have this. All right, so we're going to go back to our Canva account. And like I said, we have all of these designs, okay? Let's say you want to create a just joined Keller Williams, or I made a move. Maybe you just haven't announced that you've started real estate just yet and you want to do that. This is some of the team leader or some of the leadership templates that we have available. You can certainly recreate one of these to use. So this will be new agents, okay? As you can see, they say, welcome to the team. I've edited a couple of them. This one now says just join Keller Williams. So you can definitely do this with one of these designs. You can even use their magic write. So this is kind of their AI in here, and help you write a description, okay? Let's see. Rewrite. So it will rewrite what you have here. We can also do, where's the option? Sorry, they changed this a little bit. Some of these are paid features, so you can't use them, but I just used this one earlier. Magic write. Let's try this one. So under text, do the magic write. Let's say we want to write a new agent bio. We're going to do generate. It's going to write this for you. So you can definitely use these AI tools within the Canva account as well. You obviously may want to tweak this. You, of course, want to include your personal information, but this is a great tool if this is something you're interested in, saving your time or kind of having it create it for you. You can also change it. But you can add in different words that you may want to include, or if you want to make more, you can use any of those features. If we were to go ahead and insert, it's going to put that directly into our space here. We would, of course, have to cut this down. This is a little too, whoops, it's a little too big for the space that we have, but that gives you an idea of how you would use that rewrite tool or that AI tool. Sorry, I gotta close my chat. It's in my way. So we would, of course, need to really cut this down till it fits. but this would be a great way to kind of help write your bio. Maybe you just need some help. You haven't started on that yet. You can use this. And these boxes can all be made bigger, change the color, etc. Okay. Colors on this, logos, everything in here you can customize. Okay. So you can kind of play around with it, get comfortable with it, and then you'll be whizzing through them. Again, same as before, download, whether you want to use this for social media. This is a social square template. It's the size that you would use for that. So you could use this on social media. Let's go ahead and download it. We're going to leave it PNG. We'll do current page. And then I'll show you later in the class how to actually add this to command and use it. I did have a question on the email campaign newsletters. This is a great one to do in Canva. You're going to want to, I always look up other newsletters. You don't have to do this. You can just create your own. But you could come in here and grab one of these that you like and start customizing it, okay? Some of them will come with a cost. Some of them will be free. So the KW accounts are not currently, or the Canva accounts we provide are not currently pro accounts. So just keep that in mind. But if you find one that you like, go ahead and just do customize this template, okay? You can start customizing this if you want to use your KW reds. If you have a different brand color, you can do that. We're just going to change this all to red. Make this black. Doesn't seem to be changing. Maybe it's just it must be my eyes playing tricks on me. Let's just make it white. Uh, So I'm just clicking all the pieces to change all the colors, but you can start customizing this. Maybe you want a newsletter that had more than one page. You can also add a page. If you like this exact template, you can always duplicate the page and change the wording and the photos, etc. Again, I always like to find the templates. I don't like to recreate it from scratch, but if you want to, that is totally fine. You can also recustomize this totally and reconstruct it. If this was a newsletter that you had typed up and you want to take this into command and send it to your database as an email campaign, we can also go through that. So we'll go ahead and do the share again. Now, when you're adding these to email campaigns, I always recommend leaving them as a PNG. Okay. And it's not clicking. I'm going to go ahead and download just one of these pages since I duplicated it and it's exactly the same. Now that we have a few examples, let's go ahead and go into command really quick and show you guys how to add a couple of these to send them out, okay? So if we come into command, let's say we want to do a social post or email campaign using those designs we created. We just come into campaigns, hit create. We can do social post first. Make sure your socials are connected. You'll have those. You can pull them here. As you can see, we have Facebook, Instagram, and X. And then we can go ahead and add media, okay? This is going to allow us to find our file on our computer. We'll grab this one. It's going to allow us to resize it if we need to. Add any of our text. If we want to include the ownership statement because it wasn't, or our DBA from our profile, those can be added. We can then schedule this or publish immediately, and it's going to post that directly to our social accounts, and we even have a preview. I'm not sure why that one's not showing. But that is that simple. Just add it in here, browse that file, add any of the text that you want to add, links, etc., and you can go ahead and post this. I'm going to save it. And I'll then be able to find it right here and I can go in and edit, delete. And once I edit, I can schedule that. Okay. Now let's say we wanted to do the email campaign. We'll go ahead and do create. We're going to do email. We're going to do, we'll just do 731. And I'm just going to do other since we kind of made a little newsletter. I know we didn't really edit it, but now you'll want to make sure your email list is created. I'm just going to grab one of our lists that we have. Whatever you want the subject to be for your newsletter. And then you want to select design. Now, this is only going to pull up designs that you've created. So if you've previously made one, it's going to be the best way to swap this. Let's just go ahead and do this one that says flyer email. This is kind of a similar thing that is here. So if we go ahead and add or replace this photo with ours, we want to upload it from our computer, add it, and then replace. Now, if you didn't have one already created, you can go through that really quick too. I don't want to save this. If you didn't have a design already ready, you can come into designs, create a design, and go into email. And from there, we're going to do create a new template. I always like to pull in my header and my footer. And then basically you just pull in the photo, and that's when you can upload and add your newsletter photo that you've created. And it will appear just like this. And we can scroll and take a look at that, okay? So you're basically just adding your photo as an, or your newsletter as an image to your design, okay? You take a quick look at these questions and then we'll move to our next little item. I haven't seen it connect with AI like ChatGPT, but I also haven't tried it just yet. So that's a great question. I'll try to take a look after class and see if it does. Do you suggest newsletter design? MailChimp or Canva. That's just a personal preference. If you prefer MailChimp or Canva, you can also create them directly in Command currently. So whichever you prefer. LinkedIn is not accessible and connected to Command currently, so that one's not available. We won't be going over the email list today, Gabby, but we do have a video that I can try to link, and also our email campaigns goes over that fully. So we won't cover that specifically, but I do have resources I can share with you. The header and the footer is edited within your profile. I can show you that in a minute here too. Let me make sure we've covered them. We still have a half hour, so let me just take a quick look at the time here. I do want to show you guys how to create like a fully customized design as well. A perfect example would be like if you want to create a postcard or something like that, you may need specific sizes. If you are looking to create a custom sized image or something like that, you want to do the create, and then you have a custom size option. It will give you some ideas as well if you are looking for something specific. So again, if you are looking for an email signature or flyer, logos, any of these items, you can come in here and grab those, even postcard. Now, if you are trying to send this postcard through Command as a direct mailer, this size is not going to match up and it's not going to fit, okay? So if you are looking to create a custom postcard that you maybe want to send in Command, you want to make sure you're using the sizing from Command. So let's just take a quick look, and then I'll get to all the other questions for you guys, okay? So if you are uploading your own custom design to a postcard to send as a direct mailer using Command, you want to make sure you're using one of these sizes, okay? If your design is not that size, you're going to get an error when you try to upload your design, okay? So perfect example, let's go ahead and just grab this sizing here. I'll find my tab. And we're going to create a custom size using those dimensions, okay? So we want to make sure we are in the pixels, and we want to make sure that we are doing the width of 2775 and the height is 1875. And then we can create a design. And this is the exact size we would need for that postcard when we're sending it in Command, okay? Even if we created the postcard in Command already and we need to resize it, because that does happen, you can simply download your image from Command and resize it by pulling it into that shape, okay? So if we just download this top design really quickly, I don't need both pages. This postcard that I'm creating is not currently the dimensions that it needs to be to send a direct mailer. So if I wanted to do that, I would upload, pull in my new design into my images, and then I can go ahead and drag that over. And as you can see, when I double click on it, it's not quite, I mean, it's just barely over. But if you were to pull this into designs the size that it was, you would get an error. I could go back to, so that's how you would create a custom design or resize a photo. You can also delete this and just start creating your own custom piece. Okay, so if you wanted to do the background, let's say you wanted it to be gray. Let's say you wanted to pull in a frame to put your photo in. Add our photo. Let's add the logo. Just grab this random market center that we got sitting here. Resize that. We can add our own text. I'm not going to make this super pretty or eye-catching because I just want to show you guys the gist of how to do it. We can change our color though. And it will automatically pull in colors from your images. So as you can see, there's a photo here and a photo here. These colors are pulling from the photos. So if you're trying to use your KW colors, you can do that. If we want to switch our background to be one of those, we can do that as well. And that's going to make it really hard to see some of the text, like the Keller Williams, because that's the color that it is. So just keep that in mind when you are creating these. Well, we could go ahead and just make this a just joined and add some more text. Add Scott's name. Oh, I gotta highlight it. Sorry, guys. There it goes. If you want to change that text. It even gives you options to like find certain kinds of text as well. So if you're looking for something that's more signature-like, now that's not very legible, so let's go back to handwriting. That's good. I'm going to copy this and use the same text, but for the phone number and stuff. So, oops. All right. And then you can, of course, change your alignment too. If you want it to be a certain alignment, you can change that. All right, you guys get the gist of that. Let me just take a quick look at these questions in the chat. Let me come back to those. Let me just see what else is on my list that we need to make sure we cover, and then we can go through any questions you guys have, and we'll just kind of jump around. Oh, I do want to go over, I'm surprised I haven't gotten this question just yet, but there is currently Canva appearing in the marketplace. There was previously a discount with the new integration coming. I don't know if that discount still shows. Whoops. Not sure why I went there. Canva. So you will see Canva for KW if you click on this right now and you go ahead and hit learn more. It will let you know that a new partnership is coming soon. Again, not currently available. You can proceed with this if you want to get started, or you can just use the free account until that is fully launched. Again, there was a discount giving you about 20% off of a full year. So it may still do that if you go through this, but it takes you and you have to fill it out. So I haven't gone all the way through it. But know that that is coming, okay? again, probably around Q3 is when is expected. We don't have details what it will look like or include, but you can go to Connect and kind of go through some of the information they have here. They have a few different articles on it and things, questions that you might have, and you can go through any of those to kind of get more information on what to expect when that is available. And of course, as soon as it is available, we will go through it as well. All right. Guys, I think we've gone through all of the main things I want to cover. So I'm going to go through any of these questions you guys have, and we'll just go through that. So if you have any, definitely go ahead and drop those in the chat and we'll go through whatever you guys have going on. Let's see. The question on editing the email footer and header in Command for email designs, that is now done directly through the website's applet. So the marketing profile has fully moved to the website's applet. This is your new marketing profile under Manage Settings. And this information is what pulls to those header and footer of the email design. You have to edit it here to edit it there, okay? Let's see. If you are sending email campaigns through Command, you can send as many or as little as you'd like. You can create tags and create email lists based on those tags of who you'd like to send them to. So there's a few options there. When you duplicate a campaign, can you send it to it? Yes, when you duplicate a campaign, you should be able to change the email list before you send it. You just would change that email list that's listed. We will have this class added to our YouTube channel, usually by the end of business day. You can currently find our past class. It was the very first one, so this is, I think, only the second time we've had this class, which is why I love feedback on what you guys would like to see in going through these questions. But that is the link for the last one. This one will be available by tomorrow, hopefully by the end of business day. How to add background images in Canva to background photos. So that's a great question. This one here, if you wanted to add a background photo behind this, we can go ahead and delete Scott so it's a little easier to see. But if we want to add a background photo, let's say we want to use this house photo, we can go ahead and drag that. As you can see, it kind of fills that space behind my image. It will go ahead and allow me to put it there. I can also click on the background and I can click color. I can change the color. I don't think it gives me the option to add a photo this way, but the easiest way is, like I said, to just drag it and drop like that. That's the background. So if you drag it and hover over that area, it will put it right there in the background. You can even change the transparency of it. So if you want it to be lighter so it's easier to read your text, you can do that up here. So that's a great tool to use to lighten it if you want something to be easier to read, but still appear in the background. Yes, there is currently a free Canva account and there is a pro Canva account. We believe that KW will have, it may not be a pro account. Unfortunately, I don't have the full details if it will be pro or not, but it will probably be more than a free account, if I had to guess, since they're having a direct partnership. But we won't have the specifics on if it's a pro account or not until it's released. And what that looks like. But currently there is a pro account and a free account that you can sign up for. The pro does have different things available. As you can see, you'll see these little crowns throughout. You'll see it over here. Those crowns are letting you know that that is something that you can only utilize with a pro account. Okay. It's really no different from command designs. They are very similar. If you can work in one, you can work in the other. Um, there's probably just a lot more templates available in Canva than there is in Command. But currently with the KW integration and having like KWLS and things like that, it's definitely easier to use in Command right now. But once that integration comes out, I'm sure it will be way better in Canva, because it will be directly linked to each other. Kim, there is no way to see the only thing you can see right now is that there is a option to sign up for Canva in the marketplace. There's no beta testing or way to see what it's going to look like. They haven't offered that just yet. They may at Mega Agent Camp if you are going. I do believe Canva will be present and have a booth, so you may be able to see some more details there. Is my guess. Guys, we have about 15 minutes. I'm going to stop record, but I'm going to stay here and answer any questions you guys have. So keep throwing those out. If there's something you want to see, I'd love to hear it and kind of go through it with you guys. So definitely let me know. I'm here to just answer questions and help you guys with this. So I work a lot in Canva and Command Designs. So any questions you guys have, let me know and we'll go through it together. But I'm going to stop record. If you want to hop off, that's fine too. We've gone through all of the things I kind of wanted to cover with you guys. So.